Start out with you with the Lindsay story. She was on Today's Show. She says she wants to get her career back on track. What do you think? Is that likely?
Of course she does. She's broke. Wouldn't you want to get a job if you were broke? The thing that's interesting is, nobody wants to insure her because they're afraid she's a risk. Because if she's a drug addict, if she ends up on the set drunk, any of that kind of thing, she's really in trouble, and she's going to cost them money. The thing is, when she was there talking to Matt Lauer, all the addicts I know, when you say, when did you get sober, they go, February 23rd. She wasn't quite sure on the date she got sober. So as much as I'd like to see her do well, I'd like her as an actress, I don't have high hopes for her.
Darren, you're making the same assessment.
Yeah, well, that's a telltale sign. People with a sobriety date know their sobriety date.
It's what you call a tell in sobriety. If somebody goes, it's 23 days and 16, they'll go 23 days and 16 hours.
Right,
I'm grateful
12
for those.
minutes, but who's counting?
Right.
But, you know, on the Today Show, I think she talked the talk, and the question is whether or not she's going to walk the walk.
Well, I've got some footage there. Here she is on Today's Show with Matt Lauer. Let's take a look at this, talking about her sobriety and her thoughts on Whitney Houston. Check it out.
When you heard the news of her death, did any of it register on a personal level with you?
Not really. I wouldn't like to, I don't want to go there.
You clean and sober?
Yes, I'm good, and I'm clean and sober.
Yeah, how long has that been?
It's been a while. It's been a long time.
Now, I want to give her a little, B, you want to attack her, but I want to give her a little break. To do the Today Show, listen, let me give you one little break. One little break, which is, when you come from the West Coast and do the Today Show at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, it's tough. You're half asleep. But B, you have something to say about that?
You know, for me, I always am rooting for Lindsay. She's so talented. She's a great actress. But in the clip I just saw, she seemed like she was kind of under the influence of some drugs.
Right.
She was kind of druggy,
and the scary thing is, it's probably a sleeping medication she took while traveling or something. And for somebody like her, that is a loaded gun. I'm going to talk to Judge Penny. Judge Penny, do you think the courts were too lenient with her, or do you think they've got her, perhaps they've helped her in some way and got her on track?
Well, I think I can understand what the judge did initially, understanding that this is a disease and she was trying to give her somewhat of a pass. But she never quite understood that probation was a privilege and not a right. And I think had the judge, I know personally, I would have taken a little tougher stance with her because she never suffered the consequences for her actions. And she always thought she could get by. And at 25 years old now, and this took place back maybe when she was 19 or so, it just kept going on and on. I think had some boundaries been set, particularly by the court, this could have helped to curtail some of this behavior. But you know for yourself, Dr. Drew, this is something she has to want, and we could sit down and play the blame game all we want. But I think that until she comes to a realization that she's valued and that her life is worthy of more, then nothing is ever going to change.